take a slow breath in and gently let it go. There's a question many of us carry quietly through life. When will I finally be happy? We often answer that question without even realizing it. When I get the job, when I find the right relationship, when I buy the house, when I feel more confident, when life settles down. And so happiness becomes something just ahead of us, something we'll arrive at later. But what if that very way of thinking is the reason happiness keeps slipping away? Today, let's talk about conditionless happiness and why it may be the only happiness that actually lasts. Most of us were taught, directly or indirectly, that happiness is conditional. We learn to say things like, I'll be happy if, or I'll be happy when, and those conditions can look perfectly reasonable. After all, who wouldn't be happier? With more money, more security, more love, or more recognition. But here's the subtle truth that often goes unnoticed. The moment happiness becomes conditional, it also becomes fragile. Because every condition you place on happiness creates a doorway for unhappiness. Let's look at a simple example. Imagine you tell yourself, I'll be happy when I finally get that promotion. So you work hard, you sacrifice time, you stay focused, and while you're waiting, happiness stays on hold. Then one of two things happens. Either you don't get the promotion, and you feel disappointed, frustrated, maybe even defeated. Or you do get it. And after a brief surge of excitement, life feels surprisingly normal again. Soon, a new condition appears. I'll be happy when I earn a little more, when I get more recognition, when I move up again. The finish line keeps moving, and happiness remains just out of reach. This doesn't mean goals are bad, or that growth is wrong. It simply means happiness was never meant to be the reward. Because when happiness becomes a reward, it turns into a transaction. I give effort, life gives happiness. And life doesn't always honor those contracts. Let's take another example, relationships. Many people believe, I'll finally be happy when I find the right person. So they wait. They search. They imagine a future version of themselves who feels complete, secure, and fulfilled. But when happiness depends on another person, fear quietly enters the relationship. Fear of loss, fear of change, fear of disappointment, and the relationship, instead of being a place of connection, becomes a place of pressure. You're supposed to make me happy. That's a heavy burden for love to carry. And when expectations aren't met, as they inevitably aren't, unhappiness follows. Not because love failed, but because happiness was outsourced. Conditionless happiness works differently. It doesn't wait. It doesn't bargain. It doesn't require life to look a certain way first. It begins with a quiet decision. I choose to be at peace with this moment, even as I continue to grow. That doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It means understanding that happiness is not the absence of desire, but the absence of resistance to the present. Think about a time when you were genuinely happy for no clear reason. Maybe you were walking outside, or laughing with a friend, or simply sitting in stillness. Nothing extraordinary was happening. Life hadn't suddenly become perfect. But for a moment, you weren't waiting for anything. You weren't postponing joy. You were simply here. That's conditionless happiness. Now let's talk about material goals, like cars, homes, or status. It's easy to believe. If I just had that thing, I'd finally feel secure. But notice what actually happens. The car brings excitement, then normalcy. The house brings comfort, then new worries. The achievement brings pride, then pressure. Because objects and accomplishments can improve life, but they can't anchor happiness. They change faster than our expectations do. And when happiness depends on things that change, happiness itself becomes unstable. Conditionless happiness doesn't say, I don't want anything. It says, I don't need life to change in order to be okay. And that changes everything. You still pursue goals, but without desperation. You still love deeply, but without attachment to outcomes. You still grow, but without believing you're incomplete right now. Here's a powerful shift to consider. Instead of saying, I'll be happy when life feels safe, try saying, I'll practice safety inside myself first. Instead of, I'll be happy when I succeed, try, I'll allow happiness to walk alongside effort. Instead of, I'll be happy when I'm enough, try, I'll live as though I'm already enough. Because happiness isn't found after life works out. Happiness is what allows life to work out more gracefully. Conditionless happiness doesn't mean you won't feel sadness, or disappointment, or grief. It means those emotions don't disqualify you from peace. It means you stop arguing with reality. And when you stop arguing with reality, something softens. You stop living on pause. You stop delaying joy. You stop treating happiness like a destination instead of a way of traveling. So as you move through your life today, notice the conditions you quietly place on happiness. Just notice them without judgment and gently ask yourself, what if I didn't wait? What if happiness could exist alongside uncertainty? What if peace didn't need permission? You don't have to answer those questions right now. Just let them rest, because sometimes the moment we stop chasing happiness is the moment we realize it's been walking with us all along. Take one more slow breath in and let it go. You don't have to arrive anywhere to be at peace. You're already here.